We are going to ask you 10 questions live. We've had millions of questions come in.
Okay.
So, we'll crack straight on. You answer them in as short or as long as you like. Okay. Question number 1. Do you play drums every day? That is from Jane A.
No, I don't play every day. I probably should play more, but no, I do. I don't know. No, not a huge amount. When I'm not in London, when I'm off at I've a drum kit in my little farmhouse, and I tend to play that a lot more because you can make a lot more noise. So when I get to play, I prefer playing a real drum kit to an electronic one.
So how often do you need to practice?
Yes, yes, especially for before we're already working on some new demos and things, so it's fun to be playing along with those and trying to work out a few drum parts, and it's a good way of just getting a feel for new songs.
Sounds good. Question number 2 is from Adrienne J83. Don't think that's her real name. If you had to sing a karaoke song, which song would you pick?
Oh God, I'm so shy when it comes to that kind of thing. I really don't know. It would have to be something that I knew inside out. So I don't know, maybe Graceland or something. I don't know.
That could work.
Simon.
I could see that. Have you ever actually done karaoke?
Not since I was about 18. So yeah, no, not for a long time.
Do you know what you did when you were 18?
No, I was very drunk.
Okay. Best forgotten.
Yeah.
Question 3 is from Bishkov. Hi Richard, it's so lovely when Keane say hello to fans after the gigs. Did you all make a conscious decision to do this when you started out, or did it just sort of happen that you started doing it, or what?
That's a good question. I think it just sort of happened. We used to play gigs in places where, the exit was the exit, so everyone left out of the same door, and I guess a few people would hang around and you'd say hello. So I remember a hazy night out in a bar after a show with Chris Flynn and maybe Drinky after one of our first sort of gigs out of London on our first UK tour, and I think there was just a bar the other side of the audience, so everyone just went there, and I don't know, it just developed out of meeting people like that. But it's always a nice thing to do. We always feel really bad when we have to leave straight away and don't get to say hello to people, but sometimes you just have to do that.
Yeah, and I guess it's a nice chance to actually interact with the fans and speak to the people who are buying your music and coming to gigs and
and get requests for songs and comments on the set list, that kind of thing. And so it's I always really enjoy it, which I guess is why I tend to spend a reasonable amount of time doing it. And I got given this mug after one particular gig. I think it was in Texas. So thank you for the mug. I'm having my tea out there.
Wow. I was going to ask you actually, just to prove we're live, we've had a question coming on Twitter from Christopher Ranger, and he says, is it tea or coffee you're drinking?
It's tea, and yes, it is live. There's my watch. It's 11:05.
There we are.
And here it is.
Live on the internet. Next
from
question.
My house,
from your house.
Yeah,
this is Richard's house. Welcome to Richard's house.
So if the internet goes, it's my fault.
One Fox Lady, or also known as Ange, would like to know, what is your favourite Keane song to play live?
That's a good question. It does vary. I do have it depends on the sort of vibe of the gigs. On the Forest tour, I really enjoyed playing things like You Don't See Me, because you saw that you were outdoors and you had the sun going down, and it just seemed to really work in that sort of environment. I always enjoy playing Atlantic. The backing vocals are really fun on that, and Perfect Symmetry as well. It's hard. It's quite a hard one to play, but and sing, because the backing vocals require a lot of deep breaths. But it's incredibly satisfying when we play it well, and people. You can always see a few people in the crowd who are just completely immersed in the song, and there's nothing better than that.
Absolutely. Lindsay, who's on Twitter, has just noticed your cat condo, as she calls it, when we moved the camera. Should we point towards your cat condo?
You could, if you like.
Look at the cat condo. What's that all about?
It's we live in a flat, so it's something for the cats to jump up and down, and more importantly, to scratch, so that they don't scratch all our furniture. But to be honest, they do just tend to scratch.
It's like a proper cat tower block.
It is. It's pretty crazy. I'm slightly skeptical as to whether the cats like it or not, but they do scratch it, so thank God.
Yes, that's good. Next question. What colour socks are you wearing right now?
I'm wearing green socks.
Should we flip the camera under the table? See, there they are.
There they are.
There's the green socks.
Yeah.
Green socks. Are you a green socks kind of guy?
Today.
You just take it whichever way it comes. That question was from Crazy. Question 6. If you could travel back in time to photograph any city during any time period, where would you go? Asked Rachel in New York.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, I thought it was a good question.
God, it'd be pretty cool to go to like ancient Rome or something, wouldn't it? Or Athens when it was all new.
Absolutely, yeah.
Still
with a camera.
Still had all the all the original sort of decoration up, things like that. Yeah, I think probably Rome with the Colosseum and all that sort of stuff. That would be pretty epic.
That would be amazing. I agree. Question 7 is from Mary. She asks if you've ever been shaved by a cutthroat barber.
Ooh, no, I haven't. Although when I have had haircuts where they've used, when they do the tidying up thing, and instead of using clippers, they've used a comb and a cutthroat razor. I've had that, and that was it's a pretty weird feeling. But no, I've not. As you can see, I don't really go in for the regular shaving, so no, I haven't.
I can see that.
I'm sure Colin has though.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've seen Colin today.
Yeah, Colin's staying. He's our lodger at the moment.
Nice to see Colin.
There he is.
Tour manager.
He's waving. He's waving. He says hello.
He's too shy to
there we
appear
go.
on camera. Hey, there you are. You may have just heard a little peep from Colin. Remco on Twitter just asked if it's true that you weren't allowed to join Mount Desolation because you shaved your beard.
That's a great question. I was gonna sing some backing vocals, but I was driving down to Tim's house to record, to take some photos, and he said, "Oh, if you get down, we'll do some backing vocals while you're there." And my car got driven into by a lorry, so I couldn't take the photos, and I ended up having to get the tube back home, and my car was carted off on the back of a truck. So I never got to appear that, or I would have been on the Mount Desolation record. But there are some photos I took in the artwork.
You have a copy right here. Do you want to
I
hold
do.
it up?
I do. I'm lucky.
When's this album being released, Richard?
This album, which has excellent photography in it and also some good music, is being released on the 18th of
This
October.
coming Monday.
Yeah, on Monday. So yeah, I went down to the studio while they were in London. I took my camera down and took a load of photos. So, God, I don't know. Am I allowed to do this? It's their album. And anyway, I took some of the photos. So there they are. Anyway, it's brilliant. I love it.
So it's worth buying just as a little mini Richard Hughes photo album.
Exactly. But they were all very beardy indeed, as you'll see from the photos. Tim and Jesse looked like they'd been at sea for 6 months or something. It was quite hilarious.
That's amazing. King Lars from Norway is coming to London soon and to see some musicals. He'd like, or he or she, I assume it's a he, would like to know if you recommend any clothes shops to check out whilst in London.
Oh, blimey, clothes shops. Well, God,